students enter Harvard with a variety of goals.
Excuse me. Are we in the right place? Anyone? 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 You? Anyone?
It has begun!
It's showtime.
I must be.
I'll be back.
This is Video Store Clerks. Welcome to the store.
Hey. What is up, everybody? Good evening. You are watching the Video Store Clerks Podcast, and we are not live this evening. In fact, this is a pre-roll.
Sure.
Would you say? Or a pre-tape, because we're going to be out of town, but we're going to do this little 420 special. So tonight we decided we're going to roll this joint up with one of the stoner classics, How High. 2001's How High, starring Method Man and Redman, one of my favorite comedies.
Me too.
And we're gonna be shooting the shit tonight. So you can comment in the fucking chat, but we're not gonna be there. So unfortunately, we can't respond to it or anything like that. But please sit back.
At a later time we can.
At a later time, yeah. If you want to fucking leave some messages,
Leave a comment. We'll get back to you.
Yeah, we'll hit you up, but we won't respond at that time. So if you're like, hey, these guys are assholes, you're probably right, but it's not for that reason. But anyway,
True.
Tonight we're gonna do How High, and as per usual, we are the Video Store Clerks. I'm special host tonight, Mike.
Chat, Mike.
Nasty.
And we are not live, but in studio without our young Padawan David, the regular host. I'm fucking taking over the reins. I'm already fucking up, and so David fucking bust my balls about this shit. He's like, see, it ain't this fucking easy as you think, motherfucker. But no, we're gonna hang out tonight and shoot the shit about How High. And if you're out there smoking on 420, celebrating 420 or whatever, go ahead, sit back and enjoy. And normally we get started off with the news, but since this is a pre-tape, go ahead and roll that intro.
And a new way to determine if you will have strong bones later on in life. Andrea Cameron explains in tonight's Health Source Report.
Okay. Apparently we don't have a Health Source Report.
Some technical problems there.
We'll be back right after this.
Yeah, all right.
Who gave Carol the cocaine?
She's got the moves.
She's got the moves. So I guess the news is, in the top 10 of the movies, there's probably a movie with the name Mang in it. Mang. And also, as you're watching this, because we're going to put this up, it should be 12:04 a.m. on April 20th. Right? Yeah.
I guess. Whenever we put it up.
But the news is we're in Vegas, and we just finished watching night 2 of WrestleMania.
That's right.
That is the news.
The tribal chief. Woo. So the news is happening now. Yeah, so whatever's going on, somebody's probably dead, unfortunately. Somebody's probably alive having a good time. They're remaking some movie and it's going to be shit. And
somebody's been arrested.
The top 10 is probably we don't got anything big coming out during this week. So it's probably Minecraft movie.
No, probably that Sinner movie with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah,
I actually do want to see that. That looks pretty cool.
Looks good.
Is it coming out? When's it come out?
April 14th.
Okay,
right?
So maybe it'll crack. I don't know.
Yeah.
Those kids films, man. They stand at the top for a good while. So
that center movie reminds me of From Dusk Till Dawn or some shit. Like it looks pretty fun.
What was that one TV show? Preacher. Yeah. Is it anything like that?
Nope.
Okay. Fuck it.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
But we're not live.
Jokes on all of you.
All right. Well, I guess that's the news.
That is the news.
And that's you'll get the top 10 whenever we get back. But we'll just dive right in. All right. Go ahead. Spark one up. I don't smoke, but I'm gonna pretend to smoke because I'm a fucking goober. And we're gonna do 2001 How High, directed by Jesse Dillon, starring Method Man and Redman. Jesse Dillon, he directed a few other films, other comedies. He did the Kicking and Screaming movie. I don't know if you guys saw that with Will Ferrell. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't see that shit.
Yeah, that one. I think he did one of the American Pie films, American Wedding. I think it was.
Oh, God. Okay.
So he's done a few other films, but to me, this is the best one. And it's written. What's that?
Sounds like it is.
I think so. Maybe other people like those other films, but in my opinion, How High is his masterpiece. So, getting in right in, budget 12 to 20 million. It said online. So I don't know what the $8 million gap is, but
that's weird.
Yeah, spent 12 to 20 million on this film and ended up grossing just over 31 million. So it made money. I was surprised to find out that on Rotten Tomatoes, this has a score of 25%, which is criminal, in my opinion. I don't know if y'all are out there, get on Rotten Tomatoes and vote this shit up because this is a dope ass film. And I don't know why people would not like it. I mean, it goes in, you think back all the stoner comedies and everything like that, the comedy duos, and it fits right in. Cheech and Chong. I mean, Kid and Play, Keenan Kel, Key and Peele, Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, or even Mike Epps, who's also in this film. All these comedy duos, it fits in right with that. And it's not like Method Man and Redman suck. They're not well-trained actors or anything like that. They're musicians. So it's like they do a great job, I think. It's not like you're sitting there watching it like these guys don't know what they're doing. Because a lot of times whenever a musician gets into film, you can tell that, they're just using this guy or this girl for their name star power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And in this case, it's not. It feels like, a film like we would do, whenever we get together and we do these corny fucking, these short films or anything for the channel. It's just like, it's two boys hanging out and having fun. And that's how it feels like to me. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen this movie.
Oh, for real?
Like, it's got to be in the hundreds. Like, no exaggeration. I have it on DVD, Blu-ray, fucking everything. And I more than likely watch this a few times a year just because it fucking takes me back to the early 2000s whenever music was good. Shit was just fun. You didn't have to worry about any kind of
dumb shit.
Yeah. For the most part.
Yeah. No,
and it's a hell of a buddy film. Like, you got to watch it with some friends. Watch it by yourself. Either way, you're going to fucking laugh from the beginning to end.
Sure.
Especially if you're in your mid to late 30s, early 40s, you're going to understand everything because you lived it.
Sure.
Right.
Chuck, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say that this does go down as one of my favorite buddy films. And it's definitely in at least the top 10 of greatest pot comedies of all time. Because like I said, it's just another kind of like Cheech and Chong. Mm-hmm. Two guys that meet each other in the weirdest circumstances. And marijuana happens to be a link between them.
The tie that binds.
The tie, right. And yeah, it's a goofy ass comedy. It's goofy as shit. And it shows you that pretty much from the beginning. So there's not really taking too much of this movie seriously. But some of the underlying tones of this film actually are kind of serious, and I think they tackle them in like some of the best comedic ways they could. Racial prejudice and whatnot. Really kind of owning that shit and being like, yeah, this shit's actually like, even though this is it's a parody of certain things, we've all known that fucking what's the blonde haired dude's name, the rich prick, little white boy,
Bart character.
What was his name?
Bart.
Yeah,
Fart.
Yeah. The one with what's her name from Saved by the Bell?
Lark Voorhees.
Yeah, Lark Voorhees. I always liked her because her name was Voorhees
back in the day.
But we've all known that guy. You know what I mean? And even though it seems far fetched or whatever, like, yeah, I've met a lot of guys who are just like that. They're just as stupid, whatever. But like the whole idea that that somebody that comes from a different walk of life can't accomplish something big in their life. And I love the fact that it just kind of beats down that door. You know what I mean? But they do it in such a fun way. I mean, it really, of course, I'm a sucker for a good pot comedy.
Sure.
But the one thing about this, I've never really been a huge fan of Redman or Method Man stuff alone. I've always liked Wu-Tang Clan, and some of Method stuff, whatever. Redman used to annoy the hell out of me. This was actually the movie. This was the movie that made me not be annoyed with him anymore.
Yeah.
And both this and Seed of Chucky, but whatever. I do think that both of them are pretty good actors, and Method Man is definitely show. I mean, like he goes by his real name now, I think, when he's in movies and shit now. Like in the credits and stuff.
He's the lawyer on Power.
Yeah. Like he's kind of, a lot of rappers will do a couple movies, whatever the fuck, and they won't do him ever again. Meth's been in a few different movies, and he's really progressed into a better actor as he's gone. Kind of like Ice-T. You know what I mean? Like Ice-T's kind of always had a knack for acting, but like you can definitely tell how he got better through time. And I've actually grown to really respect Method Man and Redman for all their talents, actually. But it was definitely the movie that made me go, all right, okay, this is pretty funny. This is pretty cool. I can relate to this. But the other thing was that sold me on watching it was because my friend said that Cypress Hill makes an appearance in the film.
That's what's
and up. even before you see Be Real, like you hear, some Cypress Hill. I think you hear like I want to get high and all that shit.
I think it starts off with Hits from the Bong, right?
Hits from the Bong. Yeah. So like, I don't know. I was kind of sold from the Cypress Hill aspect immediately. It's like, dude, all you had to say, like, Cypress Hill's kind of in the movie at a moment. Cool, I'm watching it. I mean, fuck, I watched Lost Highway because it said Manson's in it for 5 seconds. And that's one of my favorite movies too. But that's a whole other story. But like, yeah, no, this movie is definitely a favorite of mine. It's fucking hilarious. It's goofy as shit. It has the same kind of Porky's kind of humor, but with pot, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah, and you mentioned Cypress Hill, and the soundtrack. I remember having the soundtrack on CD, and yeah, you got Meth and Red on there. You got Cypress Hill. You got DMX. I think the collab that Meth did with Limp Bizkit, that all in together, is on there.
Rammstein.
Yeah, Rammstein.
Rammstein's even that kind of blew my mind. Like that also.
Mary J. Blige.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a good soundtrack, just like Friday is like like all time good, greatest soundtracks of all time too. Because there's a lot of different ones,
Yeah, for sure. And it's like that's from that time period, and it was before the internet kind of came along and made all these other hip hop guys that just didn't work out. But like you said, with Meth and Red, they have the same kind of attributes that like Ice-T or Ice Cube. All these guys, if you look at these guys that were musicians that have kind of been successful in film, they all have the same attribute of that charisma. You know what I mean? It's like you can tell that Meth and Red are just like down to earth, chill guys that it just comes out on screen. And that charisma shows, and that the chemistry between the two shows. And I think that's a big factor in what makes these guys successful.
Yeah.
So, you know, definitely that is one of the qualities of what's going on in this film. And, you know, the other stuff they've done together too. They did a TV series, Meth and Red.
Yeah.
There was a comedy series. I didn't watch too much of it.
I didn't know that existed.
It didn't last long.
Yeah, it was one of those things that didn't pan out, I don't think. But I don't know.
Probably would do better now than it did then.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who was writing it or how it came out or whatever. But you know, this came out great. You know, this is written by Dustin Lee Abraham, which is a guy that really didn't do a whole lot. You know, his big claim to fame is he was one of the main writers and producers on CSI. So, you know, he's mainly a TV guy. And, I think Jesse Dillon, the guy who directed, also did a lot of music videos before this. So that's probably how he got linked up with Meth and Red. Was like, okay, you know, I'm already working in the music business. You know, maybe he liked these guys or whatever and decided he wanted to work with them. And they ended up doing this film. And it was just like, I felt like it came out of nowhere. You know, it was like they didn't really do anything. Like if they were on any kind of TV show or anything, it was just small parts beforehand. This is like they're coming out and they fucking knock it out of the park with this, you know, in my opinion. Yeah. So I don't know. So yeah, we got Method Man as Silas P. Silas. We got Red Man as Jamal King, and we're introduced first to Meth, who you know he's a
weed dealer.
He's a dealer. He's a man of the people. Everybody comes to him for the hookup, and we see a cavalcade.
And he knows his shit too. He knows his shit.
He's well educated.
He also wants to do some good with it as well. So, you know, just throwing that out there.
He's a very good horticulturalist.
Yes, well educated in the streets and in the plants, if you will. And you have a few different guys. You had like the crackhead showing up and trying to get shit. The guy trying to get my bumper clot, trying to get his Johnson up.
Oh yeah,
shit like that. And then you got Chuck Deasy shows up. He plays Ivory in the film, which is an actor who didn't really do anything else besides this. You know, maybe a couple bit things after the fact, but I think this was one of his first roles as well. And he shows up and he's got the fucking thing right there between his eyes, the little
hair patch.
Yeah, the skid mark of Buddha.
Yeah. That cracks me up, dude.
Yeah, that's Silas's boy, and he's showing up, and you know he's been doing the dating, online dating, because this is back in the early 2000s, so it's like, you know, you're going on like freaking MySpace or
chat rooms.
Yeah, you're going into like ICQ and AIM, man.
And dating.
No, man. So yeah, he's meeting the chicks, and he wants to come to Silas and say, "Hey, man, I'm trying to hook up with this chick who's big into Kevin Costner films, you know, and he's trying to get some smoke to kind of help the process, and then see where that leads to."
That's just funny because he's like, Kevin Costner, huh? That's a corny motherfucker.
Yeah. He's got all those fucking plans to help him out and shit. Like when it comes to Ivory, man, it'd been a minute since I'd watched this, and then when I rewatched it last night, I totally forgot how morbid, like it kind of is, but it's so funny how it all comes about that Ivory died.
Mm-hmm.
But like the whole scene with him, like when he has the dreadlocks and that girl shows up at his house, and she was like completely just put off by his entire look.
Yeah, because he looks completely different.
I didn't know you had dreadlocks.
Just got to put them in today.
Got the extensions put in today.
But like he's sitting here smoking and he's watching Field of Dreams and Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, we get our first cameo with Tracy Morgan.
Actually, the second. There was another movie. There was something else that was on earlier that he
Pork Chops So Junkie commercial.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah. And that whole scene's pretty fucking funny too. but like him falling asleep and the joint catches his fucking hair on fire. He dives outside and you just poop. And it's like, God. I was like, oh, that's right. Okay. He's a big part of this fucking movie. Because I always do that with movies sometimes. I forget certain aspects of it that are like important. Especially with movies like this, when like, you know, that like I've watched them in the same kind of mind state that they are in. So, because I mean, like, because this is one of those movies. I mean, it's funny if you're not a pothead, but it's definitely one of those where you're like, hey, having a smoke out, double fucking feature Friday, how high, bring your eights, and we'll all make a big giant, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were introduced to Meth. We're introduced to Ivory. Then we ended up meeting Redman's character Jamal, and you know, he's living at home with Mom, good old Anna Marie Horsford, Mrs. Jones from the Friday films, and a number of others. She's been in so many films. Just a great actress, and she plays the mom. You know, not only in this film, but you know, other films. She does a great job. You know, she really comes across as that mom, authoritative figure. And you know, she's getting on Red's case. She's getting on Jamal's case. You know, because you know, we got the THC test coming up. You know, that's the premise. Is these guys? I guess you would assume that they just got done with high school and then they're getting ready to go to college.
Like you would think, but they seem way older.
Yeah, they seem way older. But
I mean, I would say they've been out of high school for a while, but their family's been like, "Hey, you need to take this," and it's been a minute, and that's why.
Because Red even says if I can do 6 years at a community college, I can do at least 12 years up in
so
here.
Wait, so he's been 6 years at a community college.
They're like in their mid-20s.
I guess they're not out of high school because he was. Yeah, you said he was doing 6 years of community college, so they're mid-20s. I guess, you know, just I don't know why you would randomly in your mid-20s take a college entrance exam or
sometimes you have a change of opinion of your lifestyle.
I guess
you need to change it. You know,
I guess, you know, they're looking for a change in their life, so they're gonna the testing for higher credentials, the THC test. They're gonna take that and I guess improve their lives. So both these characters are kind of heading down the same path, and they intersect. You know, after you know, you mentioned Ivory dies. You know, he even predicts. You know, he's like, you know, Silas, you know, I got your back no matter what. You know, and he's that best friend character, that buddy character. It's like, you know,
he's the positive role model.
Yeah, he's trying to get Silas. He's like, hey man, you got to study. You got to, you know, he believes in Silas. He knows that he's got the mind to do more than just fucking be a dealer. You know what I mean?
He even makes the comments like he goes to his house or whatever, and he's like, you know what you're doing? Like you got to get a real lab. Like this shit's janky.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to apply yourself.
Yeah, he believes, he sees more in Silas, and that's what he wants. So you know, he's like, you know, no matter what, you know, if I got hit by, or if I'm, what did he say? I got hit by a bus.
Yeah,
you know, I'd still have your back. If I got caught on fire, I'd still have your back. If my ex showed up and stabbed me, which never happened, but
no, that's the only thing that didn't happen.
No, but when you find out later on, like skipping around, like I can't help but keep thinking of that. When he's like, but I did get hit by a bus. It shows how he died. Yeah. Oh, you're like, God damn, dude. Like, it just, I don't know. It cracks me the fuck up.
He's like, I'm alive. I can't feel my legs, but I'm alive. And then he gets ran over by a bus. Worst luck ever.
Oh, man.
But I see, I love it. I love it when Meth and Red first meet. And it's like, you know, like, you got papers, or you got blunt, like you got smoke, all that shit. And like when they start smoking, and Red's got this look on his face when he's hitting it, and all of a sudden Ivory shows up in the bag. He's like, "Hey man," and he's like, "Oh, it's just Ivory." That whole scene, and then Redman gets out, and she's like, "Shit, I want to do that," because he sees Ivory go through the car, and he's like, "Shit, man," and he keeps trying to walk into stuff, and he keeps trying to like, and it's just like he's in the background. It's just like he's in the background doing this shit when like when Meth is talking to Ivory. It's just, I don't know, it's just hilarious.
Well, key point we forgot to mention was that when Ivory dies, Meth gets his ashes and puts him in the dirt, then grows the plant. So every time they smoke that plant called the Ivory, they get to see Ivory.
That's the key, the ashes.
Yeah.
In the plant. All right, that's the key to fucking
when he's putting the ashes in the can, he's trying to mix it up with the soil, that shit, and he's looking at his dad. He's like, "Hey, how about one of them fucking?"
Take a little bit.
And he just looks at him, and he just got that look. He's like, fucking stingy ass motherfucker. Like, just, I don't know. It's just the face. That's another thing about Red Man and Method Man that cracks me up in this movie is her facial expressions.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, we'll get to that because I know there's a couple we mentioned whenever we were going back and watching it. So Ivory dies. These guys finally meet up. You know, what does he say? Get high, take the test high, get high scores.
Yeah, study high, take the test high, get high scores. Right.
Makes sense to me.
And then
that was me in high school.
Oh man, that's so funny. Red's
dropped out
around.
and felt JD twice. What do you think? Anyway,
Red's running around. I'm a ghost. He runs into that little kid, you know, like he's trying to go through him, and he hits the car. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. He's like, he's a ghost, man. He's like,
that explains everything.
Got me out of here trying to hit this shit. So then they finally take the test. Ivory's there. He's got their back. He gives them all the answers, and they both score 100%. Never happened in the history of the THCs. And we had 2 people score 100% on the test. And, you know, most likely that would be cheating, but they got two different tests. So now these guys got the pick of the litter. They can go to any college they want. And then
they send the recruiter montage scene.
We got the recruiter montage. All the guys are coming doing their interviews with these guys, trying to figure out where they want to go, and they're just not having it with you know, the different places.
Everybody,
the
military school, the Christian academy,
the white haters.
Next.
He's like, yeah, pass.
Yeah, they don't want any part of that until we meet Fred Willard, good old Fred Willard.
Harvard,
yeah. Representative of Harvard, who's coming by, and you know, they're trying to get some more ethnic diversity in the school. It's so fucked up,
right?
Up Chuck Cameroon.
The thing is, though, is like that's actually been a thing before.
Oh, right, for sure.
Like that's actually
real.
Like
All the, you know, these colleges and everything. All, you know, we'll just bring in some, you know, minorities, and then it makes it look good. And it's like, no, you bring in the people because they deserve to be there. You know, it doesn't matter their skin color, but you know that's how that is. But we see Fred Willard and Oba Babatunde, who plays Dean Cain. Oh my gosh, I love that name, which is obviously a reference to Dean Cain, the actor from Superman.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying. The guy that plays Dean Cain, he played in. I want to say he was in Dawson's Creek, and he was he was like the principal of the school or some shit. And his daughter, and that was a big reason for some big win or whatever.
We actually saw the Dawson today, but we'll tell you about that later.
Oh, shit.
We're going to tell him to hit you up, but that's another story.
Little known fact about me. I've seen every episode of Dawson's Creek. Not proud of it. It's just who I am.
Greatest fucking thing ever.
There's
fact about Chuck. He loves Dawson's Creek.
The thing is, though, is there's personal reasons. You know, it has to do with friendships and stuff back in the day that were relatable in a lot of ways.
Sure, Pacey.
Because I was the Paisley of the clan.
Paisley Park.
What was his fucking name?
Pacey.
Yeah, that's who I was. Right. I knew a chick named Paisley.
Really?
We won't get into that. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I was the special.
Anyway, going on.
But yeah, Oba Babatunde, who is probably the most prolific actor in this film. This guy has done a ton of stuff. If you look at his credentials, he's been in like over 150 films and TV series and everything like that. This guy is an amazing actor. You know,
has an amazing name.
Yeah, amazing name as well. But he not only is an actor, he's a singer, he's a dancer, he's a writer. Multi-talented man, and he does such a great job as asshole Dean Cain in this film. And we get to see some of his talents later on, you know, whenever he gets on the dance floor, but we'll get to that. But yeah, they're talking about, you know, trying to bring these guys in. Obviously, Fred Willard's the white guy who's trying to bring the ethnic diversity in, and Oba Babatunde, Dean Cain, not interested. He's like, these guys look like hoodlums. You know, he doesn't want them a part of this organization, this college or whatever, Harvard, this fine institute. And you know, he, you know, from the get-go, he doesn't like these guys. He's out for these guys. So they finally decide, you know, hey, you know, Harvard, you know, we can roll that joint up.
Fox with you.
Then we'll fox together. So dumb. Fucking Fred Willard, man, freaking Whitey.
He's actually, you know, at some point in his career, he kind of just became, in everything he was in, like the fun-loving, wild, crazy guy, or the wild, fun-loving, like, you know, perverted old man. You know,
I feel like he falls into that category of like Eugene Levy type, like these older father type figures who are comical in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So I've always.
Well, it's like, did you ever watch Modern Family?
Yeah.
He's Phil's dad in that, right? And he's great. He's kind of perfect in that role. And yeah, you know, he did get arrested. You know, in a movie theater, but he wasn't. I mean, it was the Pee Wee Herman thing. He wasn't really doing anything. I mean, besides the public aspect of it, porno theater, probably not the best thing to do, but doesn't make you a horrible individual. I
mean, what the fuck? I mean, what's the point of a porno theater anyway? You're just gonna go and watch for
people go in there and jerk off. What? Huh? Yeah. Like,
right.
Lay off. It's because they're famous that they can, you know.
In fact, you know, that might be where Dave is this week. We don't know for sure. You know, there are masturbation competitions out there that actually take place. So, you know,
Well, I mean, you all did like
vigorous...
put $50 to him and like set him in front of a sex show. I don't know what you were thinking with that, but
he has a vigorous routine.
Great choice of words.
Leave the man alone. He's not here.
No, we got to bust his balls. But yeah. So finally, they decide, let's go to Harvard, man. Let's go to fucking Harvard. And actually, they filmed the Harvard scenes at UCLA. So not really Harvard, but who cares? They get there, and we get to meet some of the secondary cast members. First off, I think they end up meeting, like we said, Bart, played by Chris Elwood. Good old Bart Fart, the stereotypical asshole douchebag. Snobby rich kid.
He has a hideous face too. Yeah. Can we just throw it out there? He has a face that only his mother would probably
I doubt it.
Beat.
He was raised by a nanny.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, like I don't know.
But he's that rich and uppity kid.
I don't know who did the casting, but I would imagine they looked at him and said, "Okay, this is the guy." Because it's like whenever you have a character that is like that, you want somebody with a face that's like punchable, like, oh, I want to punch this guy in the face,
right? Yeah.
So it kind of goes hand in hand.
He has one of those faces.
Afraid so. Sorry, Chris, but yeah, Bart. They meet Bart. He's there. He's part of the crew, and
the rowing crew.
Yeah. And he's there talking to his girlfriend, who is Lauren, played by Lark Voorhees, Saved by the Bell alumni, which
Lisa
everybody
Turtle.
knows. The good old
That's right. Turtle. I always had a big crush on her.
Me too.
Yeah, beautiful woman.
Yeah. Oh,
so she's the love interest of Bart. They've been dating
for some reason. It doesn't make any goddamn sense, but whatever.
Well, she explains later on it was because of his family that she was even in Harvard.
Well,
so,
yeah,
you know,
they had ties.
Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah,
but that's soon interrupted as Method Man and Red Man show up, and they're just trying to get directions to the Level House.
They're trying to get directions to the financial aid.
Financial aid. That's right. That's right. They're going to the financial aid office, and
I didn't know anybody that actually needed it.
Bart's, you know, everybody doesn't like these guys right out the gate. They feel like these guys don't belong there, which is fucked up. But
it's because people fear change.
Yeah. But you know, so he's just giving them shit right out the gate. Like you said, the facial, some of the facial
those facials are hilarious.
Reactions. One of them, whenever he's fucking with Jamal, And he's like, this isn't basketball, J-Rock. And he does this little thing, and you see Method Man just go like he totally schooled him or some shit.
He rewound that shit like 5 times.
I don't know. That part always cracked me up. But he's giving him shit. He's like, telling Jamal that he couldn't make the crew, he couldn't hang. He's like, who are you, crew? Goddammit! I'll fuck him up. Where are they? Goddammit! He's like, rowing, Jimmy Jam. Just like fucking totally talking down to him, fucking insulting him. And so we have the antagonist, of the film. One of them, obviously Dean Cain is one as well. So we meet those characters. He goes on, and they go to I guess it's some kind of orientation class or something like that, as we saw in the intro.
Where all their freshmen meet up for their orientation.
Yeah, Dean Cain's welcoming the new students and everything like that, and they show up late and got to make make this grand entrance,
which is where we were in the intro with that clip that we showed.
Yeah, they make the grand entrance. They're interrupting him, and he obviously knows who these guys are, and he's like, all right. And they come in, and they're just causing a scene, everything like that. We get to meet Jeffrey, played by Justin ERIK, the redheaded kid, who's kind of the nerdy type, and he's sitting there, and obviously they sit down right on both sides of him and just grab his red Solo cup and take a drink. He's like, what the fuck is this? It's like, that's toilet water.
It's part of my pledge.
Yeah. So you got that character showing up. Then after that, they're heading to their.
They make him look bad.
They definitely.
Oh, they definitely make him look bad.
Yeah, for real. Dean Cain. Yeah, they're just Redman just popping off on him like all kinds of different things. And I love this shot of the more insults that he hurls at Dean Cain. It's just like they slowly zoom in to his face, and it's like a teapot or tea kettle, getting ready to percolate, and it's like you see the red of the lighting, and he's just like about ready to snap, and then it's like he's all of a sudden calm. He's like, please just sit down, or whatever. So they're already talking shit to him, and going on. And then we end up meeting volunteer officer Picklestein.
Dude, he fucking kills me in this
played by TJ Tyne.
Another face you just want to punch.
It's funny because whenever I first saw this, that guy reminded me of Janosch from Ghostbusters 2.
Ooh,
right?
Like I was like, that's not him, but I was like,
his kid,
like his kid. Like, I could have seen that being his son or something like that, but it wasn't. But he's the nerdy security guy.
I'm looking for them shrooms. Shit, we too. If you ain't holding,
you see what is that other comedian's name? The one that's riding the bus.
Oh, Judah Freelander.
Yeah, like he kind of he's riding his bicycle faster than he's supposed to be on campus. So then Picklestein gives him a volunteer speeding ticket.
I ain't paying this.
He's like, what are you, like a rent-a-cop? Like, are you a real cop? He's like, this isn't real. He's just like, he just drives off.
Back when Judah Freelander was a thing.
Yeah.
What was he on?
Was he one of the fucking Trailer Park Guys, maybe? I don't know. I never watched that shit either.
What?
Do you remember what Judah Freelander did?
Which one is he?
He's the dude in the beginning whenever you first meet the Frickelstein guy or whatever. And then he's driving the bike and he has like the long black hair and the hat on backwards and the glasses. And he just kind of laughs at him and throws his ticket on the ground and drives off whenever he tries to give him a littering ticket after that.
You don't remember Judah Freelander? This guy, he was like a flash in the pan type guy. I don't know if he was on SNL or something like that, but
Mad TV or something.
I think he was on one of those comedy shows where he would always show up and he always had a hat that said something funny or whatever, random.
Oh, motherfucker was on Feast.
Feast?
Yeah, you ever seen the movie Feast? It's one of my favorite fucking movies. There was Feast 1, 2, and 3. Feast.
4 of Bender. Yeah, because it had the first one had Jason Mewes in it too.
Yeah, there was 3 of them.
Look, there's 4 of them. All right, whatever.
Is it?
I don't know.
That's what's made after the fact. But anyway, because whatever. But yeah, he plays the beer guy in Feast, and he ends up he just slowly rots and has like a really horrible death throughout the first Feast movie. He was in some other TV shows too, but I can't think of what they are. But yeah, no, he's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not around anymore.
No, it was kind of like a one-hit wonder
he
of
died?
comedy.
Yeah. No, he just kind of fell out, I guess. I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah, I actually. Yeah, he's still alive. He's 56.
Yeah, he's still alive. I'm just saying, like he was like this flash in the pan comedy guy. It was just like, oh, my bit is I show up and I have a hat on that has something random or whatever, and that's funny. And then that only took him so far.
Apparently he has a huge beard now.
Oh, well, good. Congratulations on that.
Yeah,
but he makes a small cameo as well.
Yeah.
But then okay, they go to their dorm room, and then they get to meet Twan, played by True Tran. I think I said that right.
Child prodigy.
Child prodigy, yes, who loves hip hop as well. You know, a man of good taste.
Comes in blaring the NWA.
And you know what NWA stands for?
Yep. Canceled.
Whoa. So yeah, those are our main cavalcade of characters in this film. Basically, we also get like the little bit later. You see the coach, played by Hector Elizondo. I always remember him from Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah.
But he's been in a pile of stuff as well. But that's the film always sticks out in my head whenever I see that guy.
Same.
But he does a good job as the coach. You know, Redman tries to get on the crew, you know, because he's trying to show up Bart, and I guess they're doing, what is it, some kind of row or something. They're doing some kind of run with or run, I think it was.
Yeah.
And he just like tosses the thing and takes a shortcut. He's like, taxi. And he beats him. He's like, oh, I've never lost an or run ever
in 3 years.
Yeah. And he's like, he cheated. He's like, well, go in the room or whatever. You don't want to see this. And he just leans in and he's like, hey, good comeback on the dick butt kiss. I wish I could have said that, but you know, his parents give a lot of money to the school, and I have to go to their stupid parties and this and that or whatever. So you could tell right out of the gate that coach is on his side. One of the few people
zingers in this kid. I'll get you on the team.
Yeah. So you know, we have all these people that are kind of against these guys being at Harvard, and now he's, you know, there's a few allies there. And you know, that's pretty much the premise. You know, they're in Harvard, and there are these guys that they don't have to study or anything because they know they got the ivory. Every time there's a test that comes up, they can just smoke up and get all the answers. So it's basically them hanging out and fucking having fun.
The botanist teacher, I can't remember. I don't know what the actual term is for that, but like, he's pretty accepting and pretty like supportive of methods.
Bob.
Which what is that about?
You didn't know it either. Okay, so the botanist professor is Tracy Walter, who played Bob in Batman 1989. Bob the Goon.
Holy shit, that is him.
Yeah.
Yep. Dude, I said it to everybody. Dude, I get
he pointed it out.
I have repeated his line so many times to him, like the whole like, you are my number one guy. I have done that to so many of my friends when I've been drunk. Like, it's just one of those things, man. Like, I've always, every time I've watched, I'm like, who the fuck is that guy?
That's why he was caressing my arm.
that makes perfect sense now.
You are my number one guy.
Yeah, I mean, we're close, but we're not that close.
Yeah, because what he's fake. That's because Jack's making fun of Jack Palance.
Yeah, Palance.
Who in the beginning, who was saying that to Napier.
Yeah.
So you know, but Bob was there for that, so he has no point of reference. He just thinks Joker is a fucking lunatic, which he is. But
yeah, it's funny though. I literally have one. I'm like, dude, I know this guy. Who is this fucking guy? I've gone through so many '80s movies and all these different characters. I'm like, Who the fuck is that? And then fucking Bob. Fucking Bob.
Man.
Fucking Bob. God damn it.
Didn't get the proper send-off in Batman 89, but
No.
he did get an action figure, so there's that.
I used to have it. I used to have the action figure. Yeah, I remember that shit.
So it was cool. It was cool to see him in this, you know.
Yeah.
Now, I guess you didn't know it, but now you know.
But now he was cool.
Now you know. Now you know. So yeah. So we can't forget. I Need Money. Played by Al Shearer. That guy, I remember that guy was always in the Punk'd episodes. He was like one of Ashton Kutcher's buddies. It was always in Punk'd. But yeah, he's I Need Money, and he's just like he's like the guy on the couch from fucking Half Baked.
Yeah.
And because literally he's gonna be sleeping on the couch because he's like, where's he staying? He's like, Lowell House, 2nd floor,
right on the couch,
or whatever. So
what else was he in? Because he's not.
I don't think that stands out. Nothing.
He wasn't the same guy that was in Romeo and Juliet, all right?
No.
Isn't he
that was the same guy. Was, huh?
I think he was like a stand-up comedian for a while.
Okay. He looks very similar to the guy that was in Romeo and Juliet, who was also the guy from the Madonna video, Like a Prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks very similar to him. I didn't think it was him, but I
Nah, he's younger than that.
Who was that?
I thought so, yeah.
Who was that one guy that it was Diddy's butler? You remember that guy?
Benson?
No.
No. What is it? Farnsworth Bentley? Wasn't his name? I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't remember that when Diddy had like this butler guy that followed him around with like an umbrella and shit?
No. I never paid attention to Diddy. I always hated
Diddy or Kanye.
That was Diddy.
Apparently, old dude was in How High too.
Oh yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that.
No.
What a piece of shit that. No. For real quick, I tried watching that. What a barf machine. How the fuck could they do that? What a horrible sequel.
I turned it on, saw Yachty turned it off.
Cash grab. That was another cash grab because they knew that people that saw How High were going to watch How High too, and I had no interest. Once I knew that Meth and Red weren't in it, I had no interest.
And there's been talks ever since of Meth and Red doing another one, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, it'd be. I wish they would have done it before that happened because now they can't. You know what I mean? But
yeah, that's technically not.
But they can do How High something else. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be down. I don't think at this point in their career, it would probably be decent. You know what I mean? It would probably be really good if they were to do it. But it may not ever be in the cards, boys. It may not be a thing of the future, but more of a thing of the past, unfortunately.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't even know if those guys hang out as much anymore. I think
not really.
I think I just saw some interview where Red was saying something like they don't really.
Yeah, he said they just on tour. That's it.
Yeah,
like he'll do like a surprise appearance during like the Wu-Tang tour. That's about it. And then Red just had his Muddy Waters 2 album drop a few months back, so he'll probably be touring solo for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first act. We get introduced to all the characters. Second act is the fun. The fun kicks in where they get to do all the pranks and stuff like that. They're fucking with Bart. They take the car and they pull down the Deuster statue.
They fucking with the birds in the fucking
office. That shit's so good.
That reminds me of Animal House. Whenever they remember in Animal House, whenever they brought the horse in there.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they fucking what's his name?
Shoots the gun and fucking has a heart attack.
What's the guy's name? The fat guy that shoots the gun. Oh shit!
Didn't they just call him like Porky or something?
No, god damn, that's gonna bug me now. Anyway,
Keith.
No, it's not Keith. He shoots the gun off and it gives the horse a heart attack and he drops dead right there.
That's an Animal House, not How High.
Right.
But
that's what it reminded me of them sneaking into the dean's, chambers and pulling some kind of prank.
He's like,
not only is it a pot comedy, it's also very much like a college, goofy ass fucking movie,
right?
Like Animal House and all that shit or whatever.
Yeah,
I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, they're just
Such
goofing
a good
off,
shit.
causing chaos. What they're fucking hanging out, and they see the two girls through the window of the one dorm, and they're watching some kind of what were they watching? Do you know what that was?
I don't even fucking know.
I don't know, but they see some black guy on screen who's has his shirt off, and they're like, "Ooh!" and they're getting all excited and everything like that. So they decide to go in and then start hanging out with these girls and drinking.
Stuff happens.
Yeah, stuff happens.
And then the next scene, you see fucking I Need Money selling VHS tapes of girls going wild.
Yeah,
which is that sex tape.
No,
that's some Saved by the Bell shit right there.
We're virgins. No, you're not.
You're not.
Yeah. Well, they're like, yeah.
No.
Yes. No. Yes. So yeah. Just screwing around, having a good time. What else? What other? I don't know if pranks.
They have the party.
Well, we got the obviously we'll get to that
a little farther down the road.
Okay.
So I know you end up. I think after that, it's close to the party though. I think right.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean,
like you see them steal. Like they get mad at the. What the fuck's his name? Like the fake cop guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they end up getting mad at him. So fucking I Need Money steals his bike.
Yeah, that was another thing.
And fucking they start playing the bicycle song, which is like it's not Queen, but it doesn't sound like Queen. It's just like a rip-off type version, I guess. They didn't have to pay the copyrights.
That was Queen.
Was it?
Yeah.
It didn't sound like the song.
Bicycle.
It sounded like a cover. But anyway, like they fucking push the bike down the hill and it gets hit by the fucking truck.
Oh, that's so good too. He does a good job there.
He fucking starts wailing. Like I remember watching the commentary on the fucking DVD so many times with this, and they were just like Meth and Red are just fucking laughing because they're like, he's so good at this. And then like the fucking truck hits it and he's like, not my bike, not a truck.
Baby.
And then starts backing up. And he's like, don't back up. And he's out of the car. He's like, hey, you know where Elm Street is? He's like, what?
Don't go forward. And then all of a sudden, some fucking car pulls up, like fucking
stealing the bike.
They jump out and start grabbing.
Don't put that in your trunk. That's not
yours. He does a good job with that, man. That cracked me up. But yeah, they're finally getting receipts on these guys that have been antagonizing them. It's like, like we said, like he like Meth is trying to take Bart's girl away because he doesn't deserve a woman like that. Dean Cain is getting pranked.
Red met the president's daughter.
Yep, vice president's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whom will probably go nameless in this film.
Yep.
Or in this podcast.
That guy.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Right. But yeah,
he was the dad in Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
And if you don't know anything about that, go look it up.
Yeah, Essence Atkins rather plays Jamie, who is the daughter of the vice president and the love interest of Jamal. So now we got our love interests with Jamie and Lauren for our main characters. They're getting their revenge on some of these guys. The Dooster statues getting pulled down, the birds in the office, the bike. They're getting their receipts on these guys who have been fucking with them since they got there. So that's fun stuff. And then we go into the party. Pretty much it's like, oh, they go get the hose.
Yeah. In table ass.
And what was the other one called? I can't remember. Hella Back. That's what it was. Yeah. Great names.
That's whenever you're introduced to Mike Epps.
Well, he comes during the party because they're driving over the party.
Right before the party,
yeah. I don't know. We're just we're going through this thing like bit by bit. But Chuck, what would you say? Now we've introduced all these characters and we talk about some of the pranks or whatever. What stuff stands out for you?
Well, I'm not. It was Omar Epps. Is that who?
The Mike Epps.
Mike
definitely not Omar.
I get him. Yeah, no, my bad. House, right? That was the guy who was in House.
Yeah. You've been watching House too much.
Yeah. My bad. He actually annoys the living shit out of me in most stuff he's in. But I actually think he's hilarious.
What we talking about?
I actually he's hilarious in this movie. So all his scenes are like They're just top notch, just stupid, goofy, like I don't know, moments. Good stuff. But as I said earlier, I'm a big Cypress Hill fan. So like, one of my favorite scenes is the party where Cypress Hill shows up and they get I Need Money, who's DJing for him, and then he busts a record and then uses
out
a plate. And like that whole scene
with the plate.
Yeah, like like
really
Be
is gonna
Real.
be a long night.
Yeah, it just I don't know. It was super cool. Super cool scene to have. Which I actually I watched an interview or read one or some shit a while back where I think Cypress Hill was supposed to have a more. Oh, it was Be Real. It was on his podcast. He was supposed to have a bigger role in the movie than what we saw. Yeah. And then there was talks about him having an actual role in the second one, which they never made, except for that piece of shit. So, yeah, no, but like there's a whole lot that happens at the party. Obviously, Redman's dressed like a fucking nun.
They both are.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Like yeah. I don't know, but all this shit. But like when shit hits the fan, and when Cypress Hill's leaving, and Be Real's talking to I Need Money, and he's like, "I'll come back for you. I'll come back for you." And he's just like, I don't know. It's good shit.
It's like, you got to stay here, man. Enjoy the party.
Like I'm the same guy. Like Jerry Maguire. Okay, remember that movie?
Yeah.
I never gave a fuck about seeing that movie. Right? Yeah. Show me the money. Of course. Didn't give a fuck about that movie, except for the fact that I heard that Jerry Cantrell, the guitar player for Alice in Chains, makes an appearance in it. He's in it for all of like less than a minute.
Yep.
Like I will watch movies for that shit. It's like, oh shit. Like so that's like I said, this like Cypress Hill being in it was kind of a big reason why I was like, yeah, I'm down to watch it. Shit, if Cypress is in it, man, I'm down. And then really getting like comfortable with these characters and like being like, man, I can dig these fucking guys. Yeah. Like, yeah. Like the thing is like I lived in a house with 8 people on college campus, and just about everybody in the house went to college, except for me and a couple other people in the house, and we constantly had parties, all this shit or whatever, and like there were constantly like dudes that we made friends with who were very much Method Man and Redman in this movie. And so it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of reasons why I love this movie, but it's so much fun. It's just a fun fucking movie. It's ridiculous.
And it goes by quick. Like it's like an hour and 27 minutes.
I think an hour and 35.
Hour and 30, something like that.
But it goes by quick. Like it's just a fucking fun movie just to sit back and chill and just go.
Mm-hmm.
And you talked about Mike Epps scenes. You got Mike Epps as Baby Powder, and you got Scruncho as Baby Wipe.
I love Mike Epps.
Assistant pimp. And we were talking about that when we were watching it. Me and Chad were. How you could tell that they just put these guys in a car and let the camera roll. Like everything is just ad lib. There's no script there. That's just Mike Epps just freestyling.
Not a narrow nutter.
Not a narrow nutter. No. Nobody says not a narrow nutter like you do. So
I don't even know what that means.
Where my bitches? Where my bitches?
Like when he powders his hands up to smack somebody, that cracks me up every time.
Hit me with the baby powder.
Come on with it.
No, I think those two were fucking hilarious too. I'm kind of surprised they didn't try to do some kind of movie where it was just them.
Let's smack my goddamn self after that. Let's smack my goddamn self after that.
I just fucking poured baby powder over fucking Chad's fucking leg. Oh shit.
Covered in powder.
Well, all right.
Well, no one's going to jail this time.
Oh shit, that's too funny.
I just fucked up my Wu-Tang shirt.
And then whenever fucking Baby Powder and Baby Wipe get to the party, and fucking Picklestein's like leaving because he's snooping around trying to get something on him, and he fucking finds the weed plant and fucking steals it. And he's carrying it down with the blanket over it, and they're like, "What the fuck you got there?" He's like, "It's a baby." And they're like, "What a baby?
Ain't no motherfucking baby.
This ain't no fucking baby. What's that shit hanging out the back?"
I have to get her home.
Oh,
but it's so funny because like he doesn't even smoke it. It's just like the aroma of it, like
it like calls to him, you know.
Yeah,
it just kind of floats across the room,
right up his nostril.
Yeah, because he like he's looking for shit to incriminate them, and there's like these giant weed plants there, and he's like, "Aha!" And he's like, "Nothing." He doesn't even. He's so dumb. He doesn't even know that that's marijuana. You know, he's such a square.
See, it goes back to what I was talking about a minute ago about living on campus and shit. It's like when he's like the little like fucking like college campus like cop, you're like, oh, this guy's fucking whatever. But when he kind of like gets hit with the pothead bug, like I'm like, dude, I knew 3 guys like him. You know, when I lived there, they always wore fucking bathrobes. Hair was always a goddamn mess, and they were stoned to shit 24/7, which was okay. They were the only ones that made it okay when they came busting at our fucking door. Our door never locked, so we always had people that would just come in and like play our video games. I would wake up and come downstairs to get ready for work, and there'd be like 4 people from the night before just playing like Tony Hawk. Right. Like, what the fuck? Go home. Like, what are you doing?
That's
there was a couple of good-looking females a couple of times that we were like, stay as long as you want, you're fine. But like, yeah, like there was a bunch of those kind of guys. So it's like, all right, he's still a goofball, but he's more fucking like, you know, when he realizes when his third eye is open, you're like, all right, he's a newbie. We've all had that guy. We all knew that guy that never smoked a joint, never done whatever. He smokes a joint and he sees the light, right? And then after that, he's just like, It's like that guy that drinks a beer for the first time and just like, you know, acts like a fucking moron.
He just tears a page out of a notebook and then fucking wraps it up and puts tape around it.
It's the worst joint ever.
Oh my god!
Takes a hit and like you see like the little rainbow come by his head and he's like, "Oh yeah."
Which I mean, that was more of a high school thing, you know. Right. Like you didn't know no better, you know. You just rolled up whatever you could roll up. Then you found out Bibles were really good to use, you know. Whatever.
Praise the Lord.
From a higher power.
And just a thicker consistency. So for you out there who don't you know, smoke much or just getting into the smoke lifestyle, remember that the Bible has a couple of pages at the beginning that don't have any words on it. The Lord will forgive. Just a little thicker than usual, but you can use it and it works.
Can't you just go down to the gas station and buy some blunts?
You could if you have the money to get weed, you probably have the money to get some vapors or blunt. But I'm just saying, if you have it in that moment, there's those times you got people over, you're partying, you're drinking, you're smoking, you're having a good time, and then oh no, you forgot that you didn't buy enough blunts or you didn't buy any more fucking papers. All of it's gone.
And you just happen to have a Bible handy.
And well,
keep on one box.
Well, you never know. You'd be surprised.
Like a fucking hotel room where it's just right there in the drawer, sitting right next to the nightstand next to the bed.
Just steal all the empty pages.
You'd be surprised. There's been some moments in my life where people that I would not ever think that would have a Bible, even one person in particular, where I was like, well, it's a shame we don't have a Bible here. We just tear a page out of that. Next thing I knew, I had a Bible thrown at me. I was like, okay. And nobody would do it but me. And I'm like, okay, you're going to smoke it still. So, and we had a great night. But yeah, just you know, a little bit. Sometimes you get to that point where you forget you need something. There you go. You could also use a phone book, but most of you don't know what the fuck that is.
I wouldn't think most people have a telephone book anymore. I don't even know if they print them.
I don't either.
Do they?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't got one in forever, and they usually just drop them off on the front porch. It's probably been a good 6-7 years probably since I got
it's all electronic, man. Save the trees.
But I will also say, though, in certain instances where you don't have anything like, to roll up or smoke out of, there's things around your household that can really work for you. Cans are also a good one, but I wouldn't suggest doing it all the time because the metals that you smoke can fuck up your lungs after a while. But for a good, few hours before the store opens up, I recommend it. If you got some beer cans laying around, draw those motherfuckers out, and they poke a few holes with whatever sharp object you can, enough to where your flour doesn't fall through the holes and falls through the cracks, and you'll have a good time. 6 o'clock rolls around, go down to the store. There you go.
And that is Chuck's Paraphernalia Corner, this week's segment.
I was trying to come up with a clever little name, like
Quip.
Nasty's Smoke Session or something. I don't know. But yeah.
Nasty's
like time to me.
Now, if you roll some weed up in a Bible paper and smoke it, is it a more holy experience? I'm a square. I don't smoke.
They call it the Holy Roller.
Yeah, do they?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know these things.
They will from now on.
I am not accustomed to this lifestyle. So you're
most people don't give a shit, but like I have smoked Bible. I have smoked a lot of Bible papers, and most of the time, like some of the hippies I've smoked with, they like the hardcore hippies. They make a whole fucking thing before they do anything that has to do with religion. And sometimes if it's a page, especially if it's a page, it doesn't that has writing on it. Usually Genesis.
I was getting ready to say fucking Genesis. It was in my head because I was about to say fucking roll Genesis, whatever chapter, fucking line, whatever, and listen to fucking In the Air Tonight. Like you stole my shit. Like I was ready to throw it out there just being a fuckhead.
Well, I mean, because if you're gonna roll a page out of the Bible, right?
I've never read the Bible.
Would you ever? Well, I mean, I was raised in the hardcore. I've read the Bible at a young age, whatever.
You can read,
but if I write books, you asshole.
Just because you write doesn't mean you can read.
Anyway, but like if you're rolling something out of the Bible, if you're using a page of the Bible to roll bud, you'd much rather do like the beginning of life instead of like Revelations or something. Because I think that in a weird way that might count too. I don't know. It's like, oh, well, if you smoke Revelation, then you're more welcoming to the end message. But there's something about like rolling one up in Genesis. It's kind of just the beginning of life.
Have you seen the Holy Spirit?
Stoner.
Have you seen the Holy Spirit when you smoke?
That's the Stoner Core King, everyone.
Yeah, right. I've never personally seen the Holy Spirit. No, never seen him. But I spent most of my life as an atheist or an agnostic, because being an atheist, honestly, the definition of being an atheist is for a fact there is no God, there is no devil. No one knows for a fucking fact. So being an atheist is actually like invalid. So agnostic is someone who just doesn't know. And the last like year of my life, like I believe in God and I believe in the devil. Do I worship either one of them? Nah. I see them both as rattlesnakes. I just respect them for what they are and hope I don't get bit.
Both Steve Austin's?
I mean,
oh, hell yeah.
But fuck. You made the Stone Cold fucking thing. It fucked me up.
Good. Because we were getting on a tangent that whoever's watching and smoking up right now, they're probably
smoke Austin 3:16 in the Bible.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
John 3:16 says, "I just smoked your ass."
Oh, I don't know. I was just saying, just real quick.
Okay.
But even though certain things, I think that cannabis does open up the mind to more things, more possibilities, and makes everything just a little bit more tolerable in life.
Taco Bell.
That's also on there.
There you go. Yep. So these guys have a fun little party at the Level House. It turns into chaos.
It didn't get that out of hand. It did get a little out of hand.
The guy's like, what, sleeping with a donkey?
Fucking donkey in the front yard.
Yeah, because they're all rooting for the donkey to drink. Wasn't he drinking the beer or whatever, and out of the big like bucket or whatever? So and then all kinds of shit's going on. They have like Chuck Liddell at some point fighting some guy in the living room.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And then you get the two other
little baby
freshmen.
Bitch. Like a little baby bitch.
They got them some of the streetwalkers, if you will.
The hoes, all right?
Yeah.
The hoes.
And we mean that in a good way.
Okay.
So let's say you got two fine ass honeys, or whatever the fuck he says.
I must prepare.
No, is that before or after the guy like who's like the Indian
Twan.
like dog? Yeah. Like that guy with his fucking nasty ass fucking.
Oh
like,
no, I'm talking about the Asian guy, Twan, where he's like sitting there and Redman's like fucking. What if you had two fine honeys getting ready to run a dick come over and say they want to run a dick sucking marathon on y'all,
yeah,
you know? And then they walk over, they're like, we want to run a dick sucking marathon on y'all, and Twan's like, I'm not very good at it. Oh man, fucking virgins.
But he's only what, like 15, 16?
I don't know.
No, older than that.
Yeah, I think he's like one of them.
No, in the film.
Yeah, in the film.
Because he's a child prodigy. I don't know if he's supposed to be older.
Well.
He was pissed later. Like I know there's a deleted scene where there's another prodigy that's only 11.
Like he could be of age and still be a prodigy. He could have been a child prodigy, but now he's finally got to Harvard. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was kind of looking at. You know?
We'll look at it that way because otherwise
it looks kind of weird.
Yeah,
Doogie Howser.
Here's some hookers for my underage friend.
Ooh. And they can't. I mean, I guess there is a way to break the law more, but fuck it.
I got 2 inches of hard dick for you. I'll work with you, baby.
I must prepare.
Oh man, that's cracking me up. But yeah, you're talking about the resident advisor. Whenever they meet him early on, and he's talking to that girl in the hallway. He's like, "You can suck my dick after class, baby," and she just slaps him. But then later on, they're fucking hanging out with him because they're trying to find some chicks, and they're smoking back and forth. They're passing it between each other, but they won't pass it to him. He's like, "Oh, why won't you pass the Dutchie, my friends? Is it because of my lip or whatever?" He says.
That's hideous.
Shit on his lip,
Yeah.
Dude,
I did this when I was shaving.
He's got the hair.
Chad, have you ever been in that kind of situation before? Not where you're the guy with the fucking shit on your mouth, but like, where like you're hanging out with your buddy.
Store right here.
Yeah, like where you're hanging out with a couple people, and there was like that one guy who like no one wants to fucking say it.
Not really, because my circles have always been pretty tight.
I've had to be that guy before going, no, dude, your mouth is all fucked up, and I don't want that joint touching anywhere near it. We had to do a whole Uber thing with had to do with the fucking straw, and we're like, dude, we're just gonna just blow smoke into your lungs. Like it was bad because he had like this big, nasty fucking thing. Ugh.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Some weird friends, man.
But no, dude, you're just
he definitely wouldn't have touched it, but no, like I luckily did not ever have that come up in my life.
Well, you just didn't know the right people.
Didn't know the wrong people.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Apparently, I did.
I was just making it sound better. Thanks, guys. Anyway.
Yeah, man. So they have the party, and now they're in trouble. They're getting reprimanded. They're on double secret probation, right?
Pretty much.
Another Animal House thing. It's not called that, but I always call it that.
Might as well be.
Yeah, and then I love how Dean Cain is fucking busting their balls about it or whatever, and then fucking Twan standing there, and he's like, "What are you wearing?" He's like, "Boo foo." He's like, "Boo foo." He's like, "Buy us, fuck you." Which, you know, if you're a younger generation person, it's a spinoff of the FUBU clothing brand that was popular back in the day.
For us, by us.
For us, by us, yes.
Yeah.
So they did a little parody of that, so that was fun. Fuck you. Dean Kane's all pissed off.
Well, then the fucking rowing coach has the same shit on.
Does he?
At one point. Remember he walked
I thought he just walked in and he had his hat to the side and his like pant leg rolled up.
He had the hoodie on that said Boo-Foo.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was catching on.
And then so did Twan. And then, because at the very beginning, whenever they first meet up, he's mentioning how fresh Jamal's gear is. And
fresh gear!
He's wearing Boo-Foo.
Can I talk like him? Is that fucking offensive?
I don't know.
I'm talking like the character. I'm not trying to be offensive.
I mean, there's been times where I've quoted the film that we were doing and we had to go back and edit before we got canceled.
I hate
that's good for everyone to know. Anyway,
it's so dumb. You gotta walk on eggshells for dumb shit. You know, it's like, look, dude. You know, we're not trying to offend anybody. We're having fun. We love these characters, and we're just
I don't even think you can make this movie today.
And we were just talking about this with John Russo earlier today. How it's like, you know, people have like an agenda, and fucking there's certain people out there that are trying to be hurtful and hateful, and you know who those people are when you interact with them.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't try to fucking twist the narrative. Don't fucking try to, you know, push your agenda. Fucking just let people be people or whatever.
They ruin it for everyone.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck all that.
I think that it goes along with the idea that comedy is kind of like our kind of last hope. You really can't cancel comedy. You can't. If the comedy is strong enough. If it's strong enough, it'll last. I mean, Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, fucking Shane Gillis, you know, guys like that or whatever, like are kind of proving that, you know, like there's humor behind things that are horrible. That's kind of why humor even exists, is to make fun of and to make light of situations that aren't pleasant. And yeah, people just want to point the finger and they want to throw a fit and scream loudly against people for the tiniest things, and it's stupid. And when humor is being questioned, I think that's a problem. So, you know, fuck them.
Fuck them, man.
Fuck them.
Anyway. So yeah, we have the party, and fucking the ivory gets taken by Picklestein, and we can't find it. And now the problem is there is no ivory. So now Jamal and Silas can't pass the test unless they study hard and they try. They fucking put their minds to it. They're fucking studying. Fucking, I think they play Bombs Over Baghdad. They do the little second another great. So they study their asses off, and it still doesn't work. They get their midterms, F. Fuck.
How'd I fail women's studies?
I love bitches.
That shit cracks me up, because that's the same shit I would do.
So yeah, now they're in panic mode. They got to figure out something to do, and they come up with the fucking idea to go out and dig up a dead person to try to get some new,
more morbid shit.
Wasn't it John Adams?
Yeah, they did. They dug up President John Quincy Adams.
Yeah, because it's just that you know,
like, oh, here's a smart guy. He's a president. He was a president.
One thing I do wonder is if Sam Adams had any kind of endorsements to this movie, because every time you see them drinking beer, it's always some kind of variation of Sam Adams.
Is it? I didn't even notice.
Maybe that's why they named the president Sam Adams.
No, John
Adams.
John Adams.
The $20 bill.
Whatever.
Gomez Adams.
I have to urinate.
Well, be careful. We'll just sit here amongst ourselves and chat.
I know what $20 bills with Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's us and you.
Where'd he go?
He went to the fucking pisser.
My goodness.
But it's hilarious because, you know, obviously you can't, the whole point of the ivory was that his ashes were buried in the soil before the plant was grown.
Yeah, I mean, they could always grow another plant.
Right.
In the same soil.
Right. If you took the ashes, I don't think you could even take a corpse and
No.
make it into ashes. It's too late at that point.
Yeah.
The ivory ashes were fresh, so
you see them,
and they didn't have time because I think that in the beginning it took like 2 months for the ivory to grow or something like that.
Yeah.
And so they didn't have that kind of time. So they dig up. They have Jeffrey, that nerdy kid, fucking carrying the body back.
He's fucking yakking.
Yeah,
and fucking
they're dry even.
Oh!
And they get it back to the dorm, and they're trying to
clip off the arm.
Yeah, they're trying to do different things. They're like, I don't like, what's the process here? We're gonna cut off his arm, and they get like almost bolt cutters.
Yeah, they're bolt cutters.
And as soon
wait,
this is a fucking president. And then he's like, wait, I need money. Did you check him for jewelry? Like, fuck all that.
Valuables.
And then he like snaps into it, and you just hear the crunch, and it's like, ah,
you a nasty motherfucker. And they pick up the arm again and cut it off. And then next thing you see them fucking taking a blender and then dropping a hand in it.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to blend it up, but all that embalming fluid or whatever they used back in the day, it just fucking ends up like turning into like green sludgy juice.
Oh, it's disgusting.
And then they go back to the roommate and he's like, I don't want to smoke a finger.
Yeah. We were talking about how, they come up with this idea where they're going to take the corpse and, because ivory was planted, his ashes were planted in the soil when before the plant was grown. That was the key to it. They couldn't just take a body and blend it up and fucking smoke it or whatever. I don't know. What are we going to do after you blend up the hand?
I don't know.
Like, you got to burn it.
So you gotta dry out and shit.
Like, what are you going to do? Drink that shit?
Ugh.
No, because at that point, like, the body would be
they're just fucked.
Dust, basically. Like, so it wouldn't be mushy or nothing. It would just be ashy, basically. So
it could. It depends.
But by then, it should just be bone. Like, I would think.
Maybe
that's what I would think too.
He died in what fucking?
It depends.
Early 1900s.
It depends.
Yeah.
Because, I know, like, if you embalm it the correct way, there's ways for it to last a lot longer.
Yeah, but that's way past the time. Like, for like,
I'm not sure.
I would say there'd probably be a little bit of dead skin left on bone, but it'd be more like, it'd make more sense to grind up, and do that than try to make a shake or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's gross. Fucking smoking fingers and shit.
Like, I'm okay with cannibalism and shit, but like, if it's that long, I mean, it's gonna be horrible. Like,
what kind of jerky is this? You don't want to know.
I mean, there is that, but even that wouldn't work.
All right, so what, that idea fucking doesn't work, and now they're screwed. No, they don't know what to do. They're gonna give up. But their boy Jeffrey talks to Silas. He's like, man, you can't quit. You can't give up. And it inspires him to, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to start working on my truth serum some more because he's been trying to perfect it. And he had like Twan trying it. And like all of a sudden he's like,
when I was 12, I like to watch my cats hump.
Yeah.
Or my dogs or something.
And then he's like, boo, boo, and then he just sits up and just projectile vomits.
Oh, it's so gross. What the fuck is that?
See, the thing is, are we at the end yet? We're talking about the end.
Pretty much. This is the third act.
Well, I was gonna say, like, go back to my Cheech and Chong comment. Mm-hmm. This also is very representative of the Cheech and Chong influence. The end scene with the truth serum going through, like everybody's like, it's very similar to Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke, one of the greatest films of all time. Where they get everybody in that room high because the fucking van catches on fire, like, and all that shit goes through. It's very similar to that. But there was a lot of similarities to Cheech and Chong in this movie after giving a rewatch. That was one especially.
Yeah. You could tell that was a huge influence for these guys.
Oh yeah, I mean, and how could it not be?
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong are influence have influenced so many different comedians, musicians of different types, rock, of course, rap.
That's the blueprint for stoner comedy.
Yeah, I mean, completely 100%. And that's why my weed tray is a fucking Cheech and Chong weed tray. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, hell, I've got a fucking beer pint glass that's Cheech and Chong. Like, you got to give some fucking respect when it comes out of that. And it was cool to see some homages to the great duo of Cheech and Chong within this movie.
Oh yeah, and so he finally figures out that for his truth serum to counteract the nausea, he has to add a little cannabis, if you will.
Key ingredient.
The key ingredient. It was right there under your nose the whole time. Who would have thunk it?
It'll make your stomach relax.
So they have the big party there, and everybody's there. The VP's coming. You know, it's a big ordeal, and he, like you said, all the smoke. He throws it in the fire and goes, and then everybody gets high.
Fills up the room.
Fills up the room. Everybody's high, and now they're telling the truth.
Everybody sees the ivory.
Everybody.
Fred Willard going off on old Dean Cain.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, that's just great. And also the fact that, like, you find out that that's someone who's been getting prostitutes off of powder.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, there's a whole big wraparound at the end. It's pretty funny. You know?
And Jamal is like, telling him, he's like, oh, I've been pinching off your stuff, your stash or whatever. And, I've been taking your CDs really and everything. And I've been checking out Lauren's ass.
Yeah.
And he's like, if she gave me the chance, I'd hit that shit until she was, show me what you're working with or whatever.
Yeah. And he's like, no. He's like, chill the fuck out, man. She's like, oh, I'm really, well, yeah.
I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah. Fucking Lars. Mark Voorhees doesn't play a huge, she doesn't play a very huge role in this film. It's it is what it is. She's just like that, romantic interest that just kind of pops in and out. And I think that's a good thing. I think there was another film where we talked about that where they didn't focus too much on the romance between them. They kept it very brief, and I like that about it.
It's not the focal point,
right? But he
it's
gets
there,
in all these,
but it's not like right in your face,
right? And the best part is he gets in all these digs on Bart every time they're interacting. Like he's like flirting with her, in the room studying, and Bart shows up, and he's like talking down, talking shit to him, and he's like, oh, figure out another way to say goodbye or whatever, because
he always says peace.
And he corrects him on that.
Which I'm pretty sure all of us say peace.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's got to be that generational thing.
Peace. So yeah, he is always getting his digs in on Bart, and finally the truth comes out, and it turns out Harvard has their very first bong,
the Liberty Bong.
The Liberty Bong. Yeah, there you go.
Made by
Ben Franklin.
Is my picture doing something weird?
Yeah, but it's funny because it is green, so just let it go. It blends in.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. I just thought it was me. I thought the tequila was kicking in.
Anyway, the Liberty Bong.
There it is. So there you have it. She's discovered the very first bong. The truth serum is completed. It's working, and now his grade has improved, and that bumps him up over the 2.0 level. So
who does he get?
Franklin says, pack that shit, light that shit, pass that shit.
Yeah, there you go. And we get James Brown, the big payback, to dance us out, and a fun little scene.
I wonder if Bill and Ted was an influence at all. The whole thing with bringing Ben Franklin back and all that shit, like kind of like, you know what I mean, like to help with a grade. You know what I mean? It's kind of similar. So I'd be curious about that.
Maybe
could be a lot of influence. I mean, they're figure like Meth and Redder maybe like 10 to 13 years older than us.
True.
So I mean, they've definitely grew up basically with the same shit we had plus more.
No, like I love all the homages that are in
right, me too.
You know, I'm just saying, like that'd be kind of funny if that was a thing because it's very similar, you know.
So yeah, so that's the film. What do you think? If you think about it, what is probably one of your favorite scenes of the film?
Well, besides the Cypress Hill stuff, honestly,
right.
that's number one. But besides that, I kind of like when whenever they're giving old dude shit, the one that's always doing the frat shit.
Jeffrey.
Yeah. Which he kind of reminds me of Shane Gillis, actually. But it's kind of cool to actually, like, every scene, like, they give him shit, whatever, but like he starts to like get more okay with certain things and kind of become to his own. I like all those scenes. But a favorite scene besides the Cypress Hill scene, there's so many good scenes in this fucking movie.
It really is.
That's what I'm saying. There's not a lull in the comedy at all.
I don't think there's not many gaps between laughter.
No.
I actually no. I would say one of my favorite scenes, because I've giggled throughout this episode on this, is when Ivory is explaining how he actually died, and like not only did he fall out the window on fire, and he thought he was fine, then he got hit by a fucking bus, which, if you go back and watch Dennis Leary's No Cure for Cancer, he makes a whole joke about the irony of life and all that, and talking about you get cancer, you beat cancer, and then you walk out one day and whatever and get hit by a bus and all that shit. So it's kind of like you catch on fire, you land outside.
I can't feel my legs.
I'm good, but whatever. I'm alive. And then boom. And there's just something really funny about that whole scene. Yeah, that's probably, that's one of them. But I also that first scene when they first meet, because like I can kind of relate to that whole thing minus the whole ghost thing with it. Like I've made a lot of friends. I've made a lot of fucking friends before where it's like, hey, I got the weed, but if you got the papers, you got the blunt. Yeah,
it's like happenstance.
Yeah, you know, it's cool to see the origin story of a friendship.
Sure.
Yeah. For me, it's probably the bicycle scene.
That's pretty funny.
With Pickle.
Stein.
That is pretty funny, actually. Yeah.
Gerald.
Like that scene, I don't know what it is, but that fucking scene just kills me. Like his reaction and everything is just so fucking good. That shit cracks me up.
I like we never talked about this, but I like whenever they're in their classes, they first get there and they're taking the different courses or whatever, and like they go to Black History.
Yeah, that was also
also
funny. Yeah,
you got the professor who's played by Spalding Gray, who this was actually his very last film before he passed away.
Oh no shit!
But he's the white teacher teaching Black history, and
yeah.
He's just so adamant about it, and he's like going through, and he's like, you know, basically talking down like to the white people in the room, like he's black, and just being like, you know, telling them all these things that have been created over Black history and been done by all these people. He's like, who created the air conditioner? A black man. Going through this shit. You got Jamal, who's just like limping in there because he just came from crew. And he's all sore and shit, and he's like, what the fuck? We got a white man teaching Black history. Fuck this. He's like, yeah, fuck history. just go, Mr. Moses, what he calls him.
Yeah, it's like he's talking about the Bible. Yeah, he's like, you might have a black man like this walking in here playing Moses.
Moses could have. Yeah, what he's like, shit. He says Jesus looking like a hippie in a dashiki.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Fuck, I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
But it's just so funny. And he's like, fuck history. And he's like, oh yeah, fuck history. And he's like, I hope you're gonna be ready for your test, Mr. Moses. And he's like, I'm gonna go and take go
to lunch and take a big shit.
Take a big shit. Ooh, sounds good. And then
And Silas stands up.
He stands up and he's like, "What about you?" And he's like, "We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us." Ooh, Malcolm X.
All right. Someone's getting the knowledge I'm dropping on you today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's giving the other black guys who are sitting there shit. He's like, "Why aren't you walking out with your brothers? You people should lynch me for what we've done. Lynch me. You're sitting there looking like a couple of fucking Uncle Toms." I'm like, Jesus Christ. But yeah,
again, you cannot probably do that today.
No, it's the irony of it. You know, like he said, a white man teaching black history, and he's just coming across in a completely over the top, absurd way.
One scene that actually we didn't talk about that's actually hilarious is when Redman is having this horrible like dream where his mom pops up and like he ends up on the desk in the fucking
that's what I was getting ready to say. That was the other course where he's in women's studies and he's sitting there and he has that dream because he thinks the hot professor is like hitting on him. She's like, "Jamal, you have the most amazing penis."
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. And then they're up on the desk, and then all of a sudden she turns into his mom,
playing grabby ass again, huh?
Yeah, and then it cuts to a wide shot where the class of women is watching him, and he's just up on the desk, and he's like, and there's nobody there.
Stop it!
And ma, and then all of a sudden he just stops and gets up and like straightens out his shirt and walks out.
Everyone went to class again.
Yeah.
Also, going back with Epps, every scene where he like pimp slaps somebody is hilarious.
He might seriously be like my favorite character in the whole film.
Yeah, and I usually don't like the guy.
No,
I
love Mike Epps. Whenever I think about the Friday films, I've said this before. Friday After Next is my favorite of the three, actually, and it
better
just
than the original.
Better than the original. I like that one more so.
Yeah, I agree.
I just have so much fun with it because they like Chris Tucker does a fine job, but you can tell the chemistry between Mike Epps and Ice Cube is so much better. It's fun in the second one, but in next Friday, but Friday After Next, you can tell everybody's just completely comfortable with each other.
Yeah, they have better chemistry.
Yeah. And it's just like, they're the security guards and they're, like everything just comes off way better in the third one, in my opinion.
My thing about it though is like, I don't know, the first one has like a whole different feeling to it than the rest of them.
I mean, it's more of a serious type kind of movie with little comedy, but then the rest of them are just comedies with a little bit of hood shit.
Right.
Yeah. Like
I would say Friday After Next kind of reminds me of this film. Like it's just, you could tell, like I said, the chemistry and everything just feels like completely comfortable to where these guys can just do everything and just riff and have, it's like Friday After Next. You watch that, Mike Epps is just like popping off all kinds of different shit, and it's just hilarious. Even the little shit. Like I still like other day at work, we were joking about it, and I was like, Top Flight. Just that little bit where he's like acting like he's big shit because he's this top flight security guard. That just cracks me up. So it's like I love him in that film, and
he's so good.
Yeah, he does.
I think he's hilarious. Like every time, like the fact that he just like he lays so many people out.
No,
like throughout the whole fucking movie, like you find out like he is just pimp slapped everybody. It's like it's hilarious.
He's like, I gotta slap my goddamn self.
Yeah, until Twan shows up and whoops his ass.
Yeah.
Well, true.
Like we don't listen to that Wu-Tang.
Don't listen
to fucking singing some Method Man.
I came to bring the pain hardcore to the brain. Don't listen to that shit.
He fucking gets kicked through the fucking windshield or whatever.
Yeah.
All around such a really just fun movie. I mean,
for real, man. It's definitely one. I don't smoke, and I have a blast watching this film. So I can only imagine how you guys feel whenever you get smoked up and fucking
even more hyped than you do.
I can only imagine.
It's a good time.
It's anybody that has a good sense of humor and then understands, because you don't want to watch this with somebody who loves comedy but yet they like despise pot users and all that shit, right?
Right.
Like somebody that can understand, even though they don't smoke. This is a fun one. Hell, fuck, have a fun. If you're a drinker, have a few drinks. If you don't drink or smoke, whatever. You see your friends being fucking stupid. Look at Mike. This is what he does all the fucking time. Like, he pays attention to all those fucking idiots fucking like drinking and smoking and all that stuff. He has a blast with it. So, like, you know, you can have a blast with this movie regardless if you're blasted or
It's
if
been my DD for over 20 years.
Right. So yeah, no, it's a good one. And like I said, I put it up there with Cheech and Chong, and so many other classic cannabis films, as well as some of the classic college films. Like I said, just take the sex and replace it with weed, and you have some of that. You know, it's a good one. Highly recommend it.
The sophomore comedy. Chad, is there anything else you want to add about this film?
Not really. Just if you haven't seen it, you're missing out. But if you have and you're watching this, like you've obviously seen it. I hope.
Tubi on Tubi for free.
It's on Tubi for free. It's on the cock.
It's on the cock.
Peacock. If you have that streaming. So yeah. Anything else?
I'd say even purchase the film because the director commentary and then like the commentary with Meth and Red's fucking great.
That's worth it.
And I will also add.
I think I've watched it with the commentary more than I have without.
I think I've watched it once.
It's just that fucking funny. Like, it's good shit.
But I also have to say that when it comes down to this movie, this is one of those movies that, like, if you're having a movie night with a chick that you're dating or whatever the hell, and she smokes, this is kind of one of the perfect date night stoner movies.
Not Dances with Wolves.
No, fuck that movie. This one.
You are a wolf.
If you're gonna watch Dances with Wolves, well, you could just throw that one out and watch this and Cheech and Chong Up and Smoke, and then there you go.
There you go. But yeah, definitely. I think it's a comedy classic, in my opinion.
I agree.
Apparently, the 25% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know where that's coming from.
Bunch of busters.
Bunch of haters. I don't know what it is, but this is based off that. I say this is an underrated comedy classic, stoner classic, like you said, in the top 10 of all time stoner films. Great comedy duo, Redman, Method Man. I wish they would have taken it and done something more with it. You know, these guys could have had. You know, I spoke about the TV series, but I feel like these guys could have been a comedy duo that went on and did other, feature films as well.
I would have liked to have seen them in more movies. I think that they would have been kind of perfect.
Yeah, like I said, they got that natural chemistry, and it shows in this film. So yeah,
very true.
I hope everybody enjoyed smoking it up with us and watching or chatting about How High.
Happy 420.
We're going to go ahead and hit our clip of the week for you to enjoy as well. So we'll see what the random clip generator has conjured up for us this week.
Dun, 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 dun.
Got that radio handy?
Oh shit!
Sub-Zero.
I have not seen this movie in years.
Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Deadliest of enemies, but slaves under my power.
Move aside.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, okay. I think I need to go back and rewatch some Mortal Kombat.
I might have to, man. Dude, Mortal Kombat was my shit. It was I'm going to say that's my favorite video game of all time. If anybody ever knew me growing up, I would be at the arcade here. The Dream Machine is what it was called. And I'd be there fucking day in and day out playing Mortal Kombat 2.
Mortal Kombat 2, brother. That was the one.
Mortal Kombat 2 was definitely the one that popped off for me. It was so much fun. I would go there and I would play this thing. I feel like I could have been in a competition. Like if there was some kind of worldwide competition, I could have been a fucking
like the Wizard.
Yeah, I could have been a fucking pinball wizard. But because I played this shit day in and day out, I fucking knew all the moves and everything like that. On the weekends, it was the most fun for me because everybody would show up on the weekends to play, and I'd be the guy that fucking just knew the game and was very good at it. So I would be there playing, and all these kids would show up, and there's the glass screen or whatever, there was like a little ledge there. And what the kids would do is they'd take their quarters and sit it on the ledge, which was saying they were next in line, and they would try to beat me. And fucking all these kids would show up and try to beat me and everything like that. Like these teenager guys. It was usually the older guys because they're like, oh, I'm going to show this. I'm going to beat this kid's ass in the game. And fucking they couldn't. And then finally I fucking let this little young kid beat me. And it was the shit. But yeah, I fucking Mortal Kombat, that movie is so much fun. I remember when that trailer came out and you see fucking Liu Kang run up the wall and do the flip and everything. And you're like, oh, god damn, that's
you
shit.
went crazy for it. You went crazy for it because we were so enthralled with that game. Because Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat 1 was a completely new kind of thing. It was like realistic. It was like, but like when it came out with 2 and you have like the extra characters and all that shit, it was like, all right, there was no safe mode. You automatically had blood. It was great. A lot of cool characters.
All kinds of cool characters, fatalities, brutalities, animalities, all kinds of shit, man.
Bestialities.
Whoa!
No,
I don't remember that. I don't know what Mortal Kombat you were playing.
I remember when the movie came out. I saw it 3 times. I saw it 3 times in the theater, and me and my buddy John, we were big Mortal Kombat fans. And man, watching that clip right there has me like, I really need to go and watch Mortal Kombat. Not Mortal Kombat Retribution or whatever the fuck it was called. That movie kind of sucked. But that first one's fun. That first one's fun. So
even the second,
that was a cool.
Even the second one, I wasn't huge on. But
the
first one, oh my gosh, that
Christopher
fucking
Lambert.
Oh, that fucking music, dude. That techno music. Holy shit. I
Great
still hear
soundtrack.
that. Oh my god, I get so fucking hyped off that song. I just like I want to fucking fight somebody, man. But
the soundtrack to Mortal Kombat was awesome.
Yeah.
You had Typo Negative was on it. Tracy Lords doing her techno shit at the time was on it. Who else was there was a bunch. Fun little score. Like, yeah, man, that's some good shit. That was a fun little clip. It might need to be a movie.
Yeah, I think that might be in the chamber one of these nights. So
that's definitely in the chamber.
All right,
it could be.
Hell yeah. With that being said, let's go ahead and run the promotion for our shit. Check it out. Hey everybody, Laser Trading Company is on YouTube. See some of the videos from Mike's travels and experiences. If you haven't already, please head over and subscribe. 7,800 and growing. Thank you all. Laser Trading Company is also available on eBay with various merchandise and collectibles. Hundreds of great gift ideas. That's Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. You know him from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, Nasty Nation, Graveyard Talk, and the Video Store Clerks Podcast. He is the creator of Stoner Gore. Jack Nasty! Yeah, my friend. And if you're looking for the latest in extreme horror, head over to Amazon.com. Look up Chuck Nasty, and the following titles are available. Along with the latest album, Decay of Man, from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube now.
Yeah.
Also going to add that Decay of Man, you can also get it on Bandcamp.
There you go.
And I have 2 releases that are not
the other day on YouTube. That was at work.
Hell yeah. And I also have 2 releases that are not in the promo. My novella Rocking Chair, which is a fun little actually it's people's bad luck because of furniture. And then my most recent release that came out earlier this week, at this point it'd be last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I'm not good with this shit. I'm not used to not being live. Whatever. Twisted Eyeball Juice. A collection of 6 stories, most of them in other anthologies that I've been in, and there's one story that's a new one that no one's ever seen. So definitely go and pick that shit up. And also, I have to throw out there that Twisted Eyeball Juice, The title came from my son Dex, and the cover concept, which is a bunch of eyeballs in a blender, was also that was his concept. So
I like it.
Good shit. Good shit. So definitely go out there and get that.
That's our nephew.
Yeah, right. He wonders who the fuck his Uncle Dave, Uncle Chad, and Uncle Mike are all the time. I'm like, hey, I brought some stuff from your uncles. He's like, am I ever gonna meet them? Like one day they'll make a journey down here.
It's like that Major League movie when they're like, hey, we got a new team. Who the fuck are these guys?
They're still shitty.
This
is where we usually
Scarefest and come on down and hang out.
Yeah, but this is where we usually talk about next week's episode. But since we were doing this, 2 weeks in advance, before this episode will come out, well, like 12 days or whatever the fuck it is. We don't really know, but we'll probably announce it on the previous episode that we do stream on the 15th. I have an idea of what we are doing for the episode after this one, but I'm not 100% sure because I haven't talked it over with Mr. Dave.
When will then be now?
Soon.
How soon?
Soon enough.
Oh, wow.
So what you're saying is that this is now, but it's not then.
Oh, we passed that.
We're at now.
I'm confused.
That'll happen.
We'll go back to then.
When?
Now.
All right.
All right. Everybody, thanks for tuning in for the 420 special, hanging out with the Video Store Clerks podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. And, we're going to go ahead and slap ourselves and get out of here. Oh, baby powder. You don't got a jug, so you can't.
That's because I ain't a bitch.
Come on with it.
You're the baby wipe. All right. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. We will see you next Tuesday.
I want to get